Well, we're back. This is the only one. I can't remember what I filmed previous to this clip. It's that long since anything arrived. Well, railway related anyway, but I've only got one thing due, which was a tank car from Furness Models. So I don't really need to open it really, I've told you. But, well packed, plenty of room for impact resistance. Take note, eBay sellers. So what we have is a Simpson Lee Paper Company. Never heard of that one before, but it looks like it's been around a while because the plastic's discoloured. Unfortunately, it's saved the tank car. We'll get it out because these are quite delicate. I think once these go on the track, they'll be staying on the track, I think. So they are quite finely detailed with the pedestrian barrier or whatever it's called, and the brake rigging. Nice little solid weight runs through the middle of them. Just pop that back in. Yeah, quite a nice little tank car. And it was about £20 with postage, as he sent me an offer and reduced the price down, which I think he tends to do because the last two were from the same guy. So obviously he wants to sell the stuff instead of sitting on it with overinflated prices. Take note, TMC and Rails of Sheffield. So we'll endeavour to put it back in its box for another day. Well, this old eBay thing has definitely killed the sales market, I think. We're down to one a week. I think I've won 2 more this weekend. Nothing much, so much a reduction in what's being put on eBay, but also what I want and what I'm prepared to pay. Which can be drastically pulls apart. But we have got one thing. I had 8 auctions that I was waiting on. I think 3 of the auctions I got outbid. 1 I won, and the remainder went higher than I was intending to bid before I even got a chance to bid. To the point where it was all American rolling stock, TTX rail box freight cars and refrigerated wagons, and they went for as much as you can buy them, if you can find them, brand new, which kind of defeats the object in my mind. Let's just get this rubbish off first. So I've fought my way through the bubble wrap, which I was trying to save so that I can pack 2 of those up for safekeeping, and now find my way into this. Well, it was sealed for a minute. It does look very good condition from the box. You can see it's a Walthers Proto Norfolk and Southern, obviously, Gondola. So let's have a look. Now we got here something inside there. Don't know what's in there. I'll have a look on the instructions. So we've got a little part. I don't know whether the camera will pick it up. a little foot plate, mesh foot plate, separately fitted hand grab irons and foot rails, so there's a little extra detail that you pay a lot more money for but you can't see because it's all black. So pair of couplings, I don't know whose couplings Walthers use, but it's a nice little wheel set. So it does not look, I can't see any wear on the wheels from rail use, so if it has been used it has done very minimal work. It's sort of not overly heavy but not light. So this is a little bit higher spec than the other ones I've got, but at the minute anyone in the UK that has these hasn't got any stock, and they have gone up since the last time I attempted to buy. I think they were the Backman ones when I got shafted by House of Hobbies and had some on back order that never came because he shut the business and took my money. So yeah, I'm still 2 down that I've already paid for and will never see. So I was waiting for one of the other companies to get them in. I think Gauge Master are now £27 for them, and Jadlam aren't far behind. So what are these? They're optional somethings. I don't know whether they're steel frames for coils, wire grab irons, 13 optional, yeah, coil cradle base, that's what that's for. So if they're carrying steel coils they don't roll around inside, which I have, I believe, a 3D file for printing them, coils and cradles, so they may get some slab work or coil steels, who knows. We'll have to wait and see and get that layout built. Well, it's another long period between purchases now. So let's not rehearse anything and can't find your bloody scissors. Right, oh, we've got, what's there? Check that. I think it's just the plastic. I didn't order anything else. Everything else was out of stock that I wanted because it's all Walthers stuff, and I think probably with these trade tariff things going on, companies are holding off until some deal's made, because obviously they don't want to go and pay over the odds for stuff, and then obviously they're not going to pay for it, they're going to shove that price on to the endless consumer. And I don't know about you, but I'm not planning on paying 10 or 20% extra for something that comes from America. So this is a smaller box than I was expecting. So it's a little community centre, caught my eye while browsing on Jadlam, as I thought that would fit in sort of well with the more modern looking housing estate that I might undertake. And obviously certain size developments usually have to incorporate schools and things like that because of the infrastructure. So a community centre is not out of place. And it's a bit different. And obviously being German, but it still sort of fits in. Obviously it's going to be on the slightly smaller side, but that's not too bad considering the space the whole project would take up. So selective compression, as it were. So that was, I think, 20 quid free delivery. It was the cheapest place for it, and I got double points as well. I could have got it for 12 quid by cashing in my points, but I thought I'd save them in case there's something else when they get some American rolling stock back in. And another bargain offer was, well, all the shops were doing it. They all tend to follow suit. They're not really giving too much away, I think, in the big picture of things, but this was Rails of Sheffield. I think it was 5% off in addition to any pre-discounts. I don't know what happened there. Fortunately the bubble wrap has saved it. I've ventured into Rapido for the first time. I haven't bought the Upwell Wisbech tram. I do like it, but I'm not so keen on the price and the noise it makes going round track. Some of them sound pretty awful. So we got these for about half what the RRP is, plus another 5% off. So they are the British Rail OAA wagons. They had 7 of the 8 I think they've produced. I think there's one that's in rail freight colours that's patched and repaired. But they didn't have, so I didn't get that one. But I've already spent enough money. I did actually find these on another well-known model railway site, second hand for £40, which I think they were only 38 when they were being sold. Let's see if we can open it without destroying the packaging. So I'll go with one because they're all basically the same but different running numbers, and there are some slightly different. There's a patched one and sort of, you know, a bit more weathered. I'm guessing they probably make these in the same factory as Walthers or Atlas. Seems it's a very similar design packaging. So this is sort of an upgrade on my old Hornby stock. As you can see, I don't know what the Hornby ones run at now. I think second hand these OCAs are going for about 10 quid. And these were 24, and these are obviously in a different league. There's a plethora of detail parts to fit on, including the hooks and brake pipes and some bits of brake rigging as well. That'll need the ability of a neurosurgeon to fit, no doubt. They feel like the inner deck is probably cast. I don't know what's happened to me magnets. Out of its magnetic metal, but definitely metal. On the underside there, it's all detailed with the planking. Underside detail is very good. Not that you'll see any of the benefit from that, which does sort of beg the question as to why they go into such detail. That's obviously affecting the cost of the model. It doesn't need to be there, because you ain't going to see it unless you're going to feature a diorama with a derail. Nevertheless, it's nice, but it's very delicate. Obviously the Hornby ones are a bit more basic, but obviously more robust because they were designed for us as kids. These aren't. These are the sort of thing that go on the track and stay on the track, and you don't want little fingers touching them. I mean, considering I bought them for £24, when you think the reruns of some of the Hornby chassis that shared this model are now 25. How can they make this for 25 and Hornby charge the same amount for something that was run in the 70s and they're still running it and it's the same money? Admittedly this is a discounted price, but so yeah, there were 7 in total, so I did splash out, but I've been saving me pennies because obviously there's not been any movement on eBay's tragic idea of keeping your money when you sell something, and charging the buyer for the privilege, and it has had quite a knock-on effect. Obviously not just model railway, but I'm guessing they're not wanting to admit they ballsed up. Well, they'll just stick with it the same as Vinted and Etsy, I think, do the same thing, which is why they've copied them. I don't know about the payment thing, but I know the bullshit buyer's protection fee, which is just another way of extruding the money from one end or the other when they're trying to push free selling, but the buyer pays one way or the other. I mean, normally you go and buy something as a seller, your retailer, you expect to pay costs to sell something, but when you buy something, you know, if you're going to go to Tesco's and they say, oh, fraud prevention, there's going to be 4% on your shopping bill, you'd tell them to F off, wouldn't you? There you go, you can only vote with your feet. So, I'll go through them off cam, make sure that there's no broken bits, and hopefully with the finer scale we'll still have a successful run round the old under the van track layout, which you may have seen them prior to this video anyway, but who knows.